I'm Ken.
And I'm John.
And
we're all about tools.
There it is.
We have a great show tonight. Great show. It's gonna
every show is a problem.
But it's going to be pretty boring.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Can we do this again?
Sure. Retake.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Live, retake.
Welcome, everybody, to the show.
Yeah, and actually tonight, it is going to be a boring show.
That's
We're
right.
going to talk a lot about boring.
That's right, absolutely.
But it's a show that that we think is going to be a real popular one on the archives because we think a lot of people are going to hit it over and over. It's going to be big with the home hobbyist,
right.
The guy that's always wanted to build his cabinets. It's going to be, I think, really big with the cabinet professionals that are small shops.
Small shops, right. Most of you large guys, you can go off and have a beer somewhere or something because you're not going to be interested. But small guys, small shops.
Some of this stuff.
Well, you know, what's nice about this is some of it, well, actually, I should take that back because a lot of these tools can be used in the field to take care of those little problems that you sometimes have when shelves rock. And hinges don't match up and what have you, which we've all had. So anyway, everybody sit back and watch. Hope your popcorn's made.
And we'll try to hold it together. That's all
absolutely.
We can do. What we're going to talk about is actually the tools from Euro Limited.
Right.
And they make a lot of tools that are designed just really basically jigs to where if you have a really good high-quality circular saw.
Right.
The one we recommend certainly is the Festool, which
right.
comes with a guide rail system.
Right.
If you have at least a good high-quality saw, a table saw would be helpful, but if you don't, once again, just having the Festool, you can
right.
do it. If you have that, a good high-quality, high-speed drill. That's important, a really good quality high-speed drill.
Right.
Once again, the drill that we really like is the Festool.
Right, but they actually recommend a high-speed AC drill that spins at a much higher RPM. But we found these have worked fine.
Yep, they work great. We've used the CT12, which we talked about a few episodes back, which has really proved to do an extraordinary job. Once again, that drill surprises me more than, I've always thought I had to have an 18-volt, 20-volt drill or whatever, but these things are fantastic. But once again, with a good high-quality circular saw like the Festool, the TS55 or 75, a really good high-speed drill, and these jigs, you can build the cabinets in your next kitchen.
And a dry garage.
Yeah, dry garage would be important.
Right.
You want to do this in the backyard.
Exactly. So
we might as well jump into this real quickly.
We're going to do something different tonight, though.
We are.
Our format's a little bit different. Jeff from Euro Limited was not able to join us, but they have a video on their tools. Now, their video is very dry, okay, so we didn't want to just run the video. It is strictly an informative video. Looks like a military video, as one of our guys said. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the tools live, and then we're going to show video clips of segments from that show. And then we'll go back and forth. So it's going to be a little bit different than we normally do it. We don't know if we're going to like the format or if you're going to, but that's what we have for tonight, so we're going to try it.
We'll give it a run.
Right.
See what it does.
And we did that because Ken and I found out that these tools are not as simple to use as their sales video. Well, as their sales video makes them seem. Like anybody else's sales video, they do take after take. That's why we do a live show. We don't do take after take. But I'm glad that you didn't see us setting up on all this stuff last night because we probably spent 2 hours trying to figure out how all this stuff works. And we're really not stupid.
And we may not have totally figured it out yet.
But we figured out it's a great system.
It is.
Once you get to know this system, it is really simple to use. It's very effective, and I can see in my own shop where I don't have boring tools and heavy equipment that this would be great. So hats off to Euro Tools or Euro Limited, but it is a little bit more difficult. And we want to talk to you about some of those stumbling blocks.
Correct. This right here is actually the linchpin to the whole process. Without this, you're cooked.
That's right.
This is the Euro bit. The Euro bit actually works with every one of their tools to actually make the project come together.
Not every one of the tools. It works with the Euro 32, the drawer. It doesn't work with the...
This is the only exception.
Okay.
This is the only exception.
All right.
Everything else it works with.
Okay.
So this is the key that makes the whole system work.
That's right.
And I'm going to be very careful with this because...
Okay. Now that's like an old style VIX bit. as I remember. We used to have VIX bits that were much smaller than this. Did you ever use a VIX bit?
No, I never.
VIX bit was designed like this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys remember it was a self-centering drill that you used in Amarok hinges, Amarok style, and you would put it into the screw hole, and there was a small drill bit that came out of the center of it, spring-loaded, and would give you a perfect lineup on each one of those holes. And this has a similar attachment to do the same thing.
Correct. Correct. What this does is, quite simply, and we'll take it apart here in just 1 second, but it has a bit inside of it that is carbide tipped.
Very similar to this one.
Exactly. This is just a larger diameter. When John was talking about it being spring-loaded, this actually fits right inside of a bushing like that, and it allows you, as you press down, it perfectly aligns your hole so you can make cut after cut after cut with absolute precision. Now,
so then actually what that does, Ken, is that regulates the penetration into the board.
it does.
That's right.
And it prevents you from going too deep and all the way through and blowing out the back, which
That's
would
right.
be really bad.
Exactly.
So, in this case, to
Now
take
you're-
it apart,
He's doing this like the video did it.
I did because otherwise
Because everything
it's a bad
springs
experience.
apart.
So it's one thing we learned.
Yes.
You take
There's a
it-
bunch of parts in here, and you've got to hang on to this thing. And a lot of the things that we're going to mention, as we mentioned to the manufacturer this afternoon, are really covered in the instructions. But we really assume that you guys do the same thing we do, and that's start to play with the tools and forget the instructions. So we're going to kind of tell you the key points that you really should look at in the instructions. And one of them is there's a whole bunch of parts in here, and if these hit the floor, you got to know how many parts you're looking for,
That's right.
because that's what happened to us.
Yes, it did. But it's actually really a very simple system. One of the things we did, and we talked about this before, but the strike hold.
Right.
We took and we ran it through this because when we first got it, we found it to be fairly stiff.
Right.
It didn't, when this sleeve retracted up into the housing, it wouldn't kick back out. And at first we thought that perhaps we had something that was defective. We coated everything in strike hold. We bounced it in and out a few times, and after that, it worked perfectly from that
That's right.
point on.
Yep.
So the strike hold, once again, a dry lubricant, so it doesn't come up with the wood particle. It did a great job as far as getting everything to where it would work. But quite simply, you have the outer housing. You have the guide, which drops right in. Then you have one washer, the load spring. You have a second washer, and that goes in like that. There we go.
That worked much better than it did last night.
It did. It worked very well, which frightens me a little bit. You have the bit, which actually drops in. You can see it has a flat face, and that's actually, and you can see the mark right here. That's what we're going to put the Allen set screw right against.
That's correct.
So we'll drop that right in.
No, you got to put it into the holder first and then drop it in.
That's correct.
But you don't tighten it into the holder. You just put it in the holder, kind of lay it sideways, and then push the whole thing together.
Like that.
Now, do you know how you adjust for proper penetration at this point?
Tell me. Oh, Sage.
You slide the bit forward or backward in the holder, and that will determine the depth of penetration into the board,
That's
which
interesting.
sometimes is very important.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Did you learn that this afternoon?
Yes, I did when I talked to Jeff.
Okay. So for those of you who are worried about penetration depth because of your materials, you can apparently...
And you're still not getting that in.
No,
are
I'm
you?
not. I am not. I'm failing at the test horribly. There it is.
Okay. You got to hurry up because we got to move along. We can't spend this long
No.
on just putting one screw in
So
there.
anyway, this just threads right in, and I'm about to cross-thread it just to get it done.
While Ken's trying to get the thing together, well, let me also say that this holds a 1/4-inch drill bit. It holds a 5mm drill bit, and it also holds a holder. This is a 7/64 adapter, and this is used for centering the hinges like I talked about. This actually takes a 7/64 bit. It fits in there. When you snug it down, it holds the 7/64 bit, and then you would use that for like an Amarok hinge or any self-centering situation. You still working on that, buddy?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have you got good penetration and good thrust?
There it is.
Okay. All right, here we go.
You're sick of me, aren't you? Okay. The key here, one of the things we did find out, and I really do want you to know this, I have this back together now. This is really important. You don't want to over tighten this. All you want to do, making sure you have it, is you just want to bring it and just get it to where it snugs right up, and that allows this to move freely.
Right.
If not, then what happens is this binds.
Stop doing that.
And then it does not work well at all. So, anyway, there's that. Now it's your turn.
Okay.
Give it your best shot
All right.
there, Tiger.
All right. Actually, we're going to look at the video. Well, let's talk about this first, because we've never done this before, so we're going to figure out how this works. This is the Euro 32 template. And this is used for a couple of different things, actually 3. For construction boring in the side of the cabinet. Now, a lot of people don't do construction boring, and we never did. We would just take the cabinets, stand them up, put a couple of staples in it to hold it, and then screw them together.
Now, what do you mean by construction boring?
Well, what you do is you bore a hole in the side panel, like these are, and then you would insert a 1/4-inch dowel. And most of these dowels are fluted to hold glue properly, but we didn't have any, so we just cut some 1/4-inch doweling up. You drop that in the hole, and then there's a hole that's been drilled in the other panel, and that actually lines up, and you put glue in there, and the pins actually hold the glue. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people are doing it, but it depends on what area you're in. So that's construction boring. And
so one, we just make sure we have it. Construction boring is when you're using dowels and glue to hold it together.
That's correct.
And typical, maybe kind of like a commercial construction, is just staple, hot melt kind of glue, kind of thing you see at the home center.
That's correct, right. Now, you construction bore, you'll bore holes into the side of the cabinet, and you'll bore holes into the end of the cabinet. Mm-hmm. All right? So with this fixture, now, the first thing we found out in the video is they held the fixture, and they just drill a couple of holes like this. It doesn't work that easily, folks. If you would hand me one of those clamps there, and I'm going to put my glasses on. Really, the only way that we found that this was effective was to... All right, well, first of all, yes, Ken just flipped that around. The reason he did was these holes were drilled. We marked this A and B, but these holes were drilled this way. So we're taking this and flipping it this way so that we have the same lineup here, but opposite. And then when we do this cabinet side, we're going to rotate it. So it's a little confusing, but once you get to know it, it's not too bad. But we did find that holding these is not as easy as they make it seem in the video. And we're sorry, Jeff, but that's just our opinion. So what we actually did, we got to put this in the drill here. Well, we're actually going to drill this a couple of holes, and then we're going to show how it's actually professionally done in the video. All right, so we're just going to drill the holes here.
And one of the things we found that was very important, if you don't secure it down really well, you'll get some movement, and that throws
right,
your
if
parts
it moves
off.
just a little bit, you're really out of luck. So let's take a look at the video and see what it's supposed to be done like.
The Euro 32 template is a drilling template featuring slide pins for positioning the template in 37 millimeters from the edge of a workpiece. The template also has adjustment screws on the edge of the template and on the end of the template. By unscrewing these adjustment screws, the distance to hole locations can be varied. In this operation, we are setting the template to drill for assembly dowels. Clamping the template with a quick-release clamp holds the template in position. Placing the tip of the Euro bit into the guide bushing, precise hole locations are drilled. Dowels can then be inserted into the drilled holes. To drill into the edge of a shelf, a simple clamp has been attached to the work table, holding the shelf in an upright position. Marking the bottom side of the shelf, the Euro 32 template can be properly positioned to match the holes previously drilled in the cabinet side. Drilling is quick and easy. Notice how the operator uses a two-step drilling action with the Euro bit. This ejects the debris from the tip of the Euro bit without clogging the tip.
Okay, we're back. Nice video. A little dry, but nice video.
I'm sorry, I just woke up.
The last part of that video is the one that I think is a little bit misleading in how easy it works. If you'll notice, the manufacturer just held this fixture up onto the board, and we didn't find that to work that well. But anyway, I've gone ahead and drilled the other construction holes here. And what you have to watch for at this point is, if I do this right, we have used B on this side, and with these holes here, we marked the bottom of the panel. Actually, we marked it with the sticker, and we drilled this from that same edge. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we put this on this way using A. So now we're going to stand this up, and this is the way we want this to be when it's done, so that the edge banding sits up there. So we're going to put this into this little clamp right here. And we are going to, let's see, this is
Go to
indexing
B.
off the
Yeah,
back.
always go to A to B.
We're going to go to B this way.
Exactly. Just
Okay,
like that.
flip it over. It's a little confusing. Now we're going to go from this side, because we index off this side. We indexed
Okay,
off of here.
That's right, you're right.
Yes. All right. So again, it's a little bit confusing. Once you get the hang of it, it's okay. But what we found in this instance is this is where it's critical, and we took a clamp. We used a Bessie uniclamp and actually put that over that way a little bit.
Okay.
Are you changing it?
No, just.
Okay.
I'm still not sure.
Okay. And then all we did was lock this in place to hold it flush, because really, folks, if this moves just a little bit, it's not going to line up. So we'll now just go ahead and drill these holes. Very simple. That's all there is to it. Now these holes here will line up with these holes here, except we drilled it backwards, because but actually no, we didn't. We can do it this way. No, we can't. We drilled it backwards, folks. Okay, well, this is the kind of stuff that you see happens. So anyway, we drilled it backwards.
But we could correct it right now.
We could, actually, yes. So let's take and put this in here.
And drill it the reverse.
And drill it the reverse.
And that's actually why I had flipped it around, but I figured it was better to make the mistake.
Okay, so you want to drill it from there, all right? So it's nice to know that if you do make the mistake,
Actually,
you can
no.
correct the
Actually,
mistake.
No, you know what we want to do?
What?
We want to make sure we drill it like that, correct?
Yeah, this is the outside.
Yep.
All right. We're going to go to break real quick, and we're going to get this set up because our time is out, and we're going to flip this around, and we'll have this all set for you.
No, if you do that, we're doing the same thing. We're just doing the same thing there. Now we have to drill it like this.